Good morning, students. Welcome to the online class for Standard 8. Today we'll discuss the question answers of the chapter Father's Help. So, first tell me who is the writer of this story? It's R.K. Narayan. Okay, let's come to the question answers. First, understanding the story. Tick T for true statements, F for false ones. So, first one is Swami didn't want to go to school because he had a headache. Is it true or false? It is false because he didn't have any headache. He only made an excuse. This was an excuse for not going to school. So the second number, Swami's school began at 9 a.m. It is also false because Swami's school began at 9:30, and at the time when the school bell rang and the students would be chanting the prayers at 9:30, so the school began at 9:30. It's not 9 o'clock. Third number, Samuel taught arithmetic and history to Swami and his class fellows. So yes, it is correct. So Samuel took two classes. One in the morning it was arithmetic, and at the end of the day it was history. So it's correct. So what you have to do? You have to tick T. 4 number. Swami decided to fling the complaint letter written by his father into a gutter. Very tricky one. So what the answer will be? It is false. Swami thought, but he didn't decide. Decided means he would have already done that, but he thought of throwing it, and he said that why shouldn't I throw this letter into the gutter of a man who is so unreasonable? But he couldn't do that. So it was only a thought of Swami. He didn't decide. So the answer will be false. 5 number. Swami was overjoyed at getting the complaint letter against Samuel. Of course not. So Swami felt very, you can say he was worried, that he asked his father that why are you giving this letter, what he has done, isn't it? So he protested so many times, but father didn't listen. So here Swami was not at all happy or overjoyed at getting the complaint letter. Rather, he was worried and tensed. 6 number, Swami reached the school an hour late. It is also false. The answer will be half an hour late. Samuel had 2 arithmetic periods with Swami's class on Monday. It's false because we discussed in the question number 3 that Samuel taught arithmetic in the beginning, and at the end he had history class. So it is not 2 arithmetic periods. So it's wrong. So the answer will be false. 8 number, Samuel gave Swami 8 cuts of cane. So count it. 3 on each hand. So it is 6. And after that when Samuel asked that do you want more? Will it do or you want more? So he showed his hands again and got 2 more cuts. So total in number 8. 6 in the beginning and then 2. Swami delivered the complaint letter to the headmaster after the last bell rang. So, after the last bell rang, yes, correct, it is true. Or false? False. So, it is a tricky one, isn't it? So, Swami couldn't deliver the letter. The headmaster was not there. So, he went to the headmaster's chamber, but the door was locked. The peon said the headmaster has gone away. He is not there. You can give it to the assistant headmaster. So Swami couldn't deliver the letter to the headmaster. He decided to give it after the last bell, but he couldn't. So it is false. Let's come to the question answers. I have written some answers to this question. Let's discuss that. How did Swami's father react when Swami told that he was not going to school? How different it was his reaction from that of Swami's mother. So what the answer will be? Swami's father got angry and became rigid, and he said, don't loaf more on Sundays, you won't have a headache. He didn't believe him. Okay, we can write down that Swami's father didn't believe his excuse. He got angry and became very rigid, strict. Rigid means he is strict, and he forced him to go to school even if he was late for it. Okay. Whereas his mother was convinced with Swami's excuse that he had headache, and allowed him to stay at home. So this is the answer. And what will we do in the second number? Let's see. Father's behavior took an unexpected turn. What was unexpected about Swami's father's behavior? After listening to the violent behavior of Samuel, Swami thought, and he was confident, that his father won't send him to school. Swami thought that his father won't send him to school because Samuel is so violent. He punishes the children very much. So he will not allow, or he will not send him to school. But what happened? It took an unexpected turn, and what his father did? He forced Swami to go late to school along with a complaint letter. Complaint letter about whom? It was against whom? It was against Samuel. Now come to question number 3. Why didn't Swami hand over the complaint letter to the headmaster in the morning? So as you know that Swami, when he entered to the school, so he just thought that he will not give the letter to the headmaster in the mornings, and he will give at the end of the class, so that he will get some time to prove or justify the complaint letter. And Samuel should do something in this period of time, and he will punish, or he will do some activity which will justify the letter. He just wanted to gather some proof against Samuel, and to justify that complaint letter. So the answer is, Swami didn't hand over the complaint letter to the headmaster in the morning because he wanted to gather proof to justify the complaint letter. Next come to the fourth question. Could Swami deliver the letter to the headmaster after the school? No, definitely not. Why? Because the headmaster had taken the afternoon off. So he had already gone. He had taken the afternoon off, and he was on leave for a week. So he won't come back for a week. So the answer is no. Swami couldn't deliver the complaint letter to the headmaster after the school because the headmaster had taken the afternoon off and was on leave for a week, and that's the reason he couldn't give. And another reason is that the peon said that, why don't you give the letter to the assistant headmaster? But who was that assistant headmaster? Samuel himself. Moreover, the assistant headmaster was Samuel himself, and that's the reason why Swami couldn't give the letter to the headmaster. First thing, that he was on leave. Horse. Swami went to school feeling that he was the worst perjurer on earth. Describe Swami's feelings at this point. Why did he feel like the worst perjurer? So here the word limit is around 60 to 80. So when you are writing the question answers, you have to keep this in mind, the word limit. Okay, so as I have already told you in the literature portion, the questions will be like extracts, and then question answer which carries 2 marks. So you can write down within 30 to 40 words, and another question will be a long answer type question which will be of diary entry or letter or something like that, and it will carry 5 marks. So here this is a long question kind of thing. The word limit is 60 to 80. So you can exceed 4 to 5 words. You can write less of that also. And let's see what the answer will be. While going to school, Swami felt like the worst perjurer on earth. The heaviness of the letter in his pocket was intolerable. So he was not able to tolerate the heaviness, the complaint letter which he was carrying in his pocket. So that heaviness was unbearable. He couldn't tolerate that. He was not at all sure if he had been true in his description of Samuel to his father. Whatever he said to his father, was it right or wrong? So he was in a dilemma. He was in a confusion that whatever he said was right or wrong. So he thought about different situations, thought about Samuel, and he found out that Samuel was not such a bad man after all. So he was gentle, he was genial, he was friendly and pleasant in nature than other teachers. Even he made jokes with him. He cracked jokes around Swaminathan's inactivity, and Swami had never seen him in violent activities. So, whatever story is prevalent about Samuel, he had only heard it. Nobody has seen him beating the students or just that smearing of the blood like vermilion. So not like that. So nobody has seen him doing so. But the story continues from one group batch to another, and it traveled to Swaminathan also. So he says that Swami had never seen him in violent activities. Rather, he cracked a jokes on him. His conscience bothered him a lot. He was worried by the conscience. He felt very guilty, and he thought thinking about the consequences. What is the consequence here? That when he will hand over the letter to the headmaster will dismiss him from job and he will send him to jail. So that result, consequence. So he thought about that consequence and he felt very that shuddered him from within. So he felt very much guilty and very sad, unhappy. So we'll continue the other part in the next class. Till then, goodbye.